heard that you were in coma for 29 days and lost memory. Was all those things true?
They don't even know the truth far more than what has even you guys have heard. It's a rebirth.
சத்யபாமா இன்ஸ்டிடியூட் ஆஃப் சயின்ஸ் அண்ட் டெக்னாலஜி அட்மிஷன்ஸ் ஓபன்.
பாரம்பரியமான சுவையான புது அறிமுகம் KTV ட்ரூ வேல்யூ ப்ரோனடாயல்.
டார்லிங் ஏசி திருவிழா, இந்தியாவிலேயே மிக குறைந்த மாத தவணையில் ஏசி.
ஹாய், எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். நான் தான் மணிமேகலை பேசுறேன். கலாட்டா பிங்க் தமிழ்நாடு நம்பர் 1 விமன் சேனல் வர ஏப்ரல் 6 அன்னைக்கு ஒரு சூப்பரான ரொம்ப புதுமையான ஒரு ஈவெண்ட் பண்ண போறாங்க. கலைவாணர் அரங்கம்ல கலாட்டா பிங்க் கோல்டன் குயின் அவார்ட்ஸ் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு சூப்பரான அவார்ட் ஃபங்க்ஷன் நடக்க போகுது. பெண்களால் பெண்களை கொண்டாடும் ஒரு நிகழ்வு அப்படி வந்து சொல்லலாம். ஸோ இது வந்து ரொம்ப சூப்பரான ஒரு விஷயம் என்ன அப்படின்னு வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, டிஜேல இருந்து பவுன்சர்ல இருந்து டிஓபில இருந்து கோஆர்டினேட் பண்றவங்கல இருந்து எல்லாமே விமனே எடுத்து முன்னாடி இருந்து இது வந்து செய்ய போறாங்க. ரொம்ப எக்ஸைட்டடா இருக்கு. லைக் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் எவர் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு விஷயம் நடக்குது அப்படிங்கும்போது அண்ட் அதில் நானும் கலந்துக்கிறேன் அப்படிங்கிறது எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு. ஸோ கண்டிப்பா ஏப்ரல் 6 கலைவாணர் அரங்கம், கண்டிப்பா எல்லாரும் வந்துருங்க. நானும் அங்கே வரேன், எல்லாரும் மீட் பண்ணலாம்.
The thing that I remember always is the song Kuncham Nilava Kuncham Nirapa. The cameraman, PC Siram, he said, this is the song of the decade. Everything was broken. My body was broken. My mind was broken. I had nothing. I'd come to zero. You were bedridden.
You were bedridden.
I was bedridden for months.
You were not able to walk or
Nothing.
use your
I had to
hands.
be bathed like a child. I couldn't even like stand up and go to the bathroom.
You can't do forever. Something, is there something like that?
Where do I start? Everything was a problem. The doctors called me a miracle to be alive today.
What did the doctors say after
They said she's going to die, but I had to be put on a wheelchair. I didn't know how to walk.
you lost part of your memory and all?
I lost my full memory. I didn't have language for many years. I didn't know how to speak. I had facial paralysis, so the tongue was locked. Even now my tongue doesn't move 100%. Can you imagine that? Tongue being paralyzed. It's such a privilege in one life to lead a second life.
கலாட்டாவோட இந்த கான்வர்சேஷன்ல இன்னைக்கு நம்ம கூட திருடால நடிச்சு நம்ம மனசுல வந்து சந்திரலேகாவா டான்ஸ் ஆடி இருந்த அனு அகர்வால் இருக்காங்க. Hello, welcome to my show.
Hi.
How are you?
Thank you for having me here.
How are you doing?
All very well, fantastically well.
Yes, it's nice to see you back again after 32 years, especially for the Tamil audience. I think you're fabulous in Trida.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this.
It's such a privilege because for me, being in Chennai and the industry, the Tamil industry especially, it has a special place in my heart. And I released my book a few years ago and everyone came. I mean, it was so money, sir, and everyone was there, and it was so, it's like family, it's like home for me.
The accident, when we read about it, it was so scary. We heard that you were in coma for 29 days and lost memory. Was all those things true?
They don't even know the truth. It was far more than what has even you guys have heard. It's a rebirth.
How did the accident happen?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I have heard. So I think that me being me, I always try to look for the positive in anything, because there's always the positive and the negative in everything. But I choose the positive, and I see this entire accident happening as my spiritual awakening. And I started with the work I'm doing with my foundation and with people. My love for people, there always was there, but it became like everything after that. So I think that it was like it's an amazing thing.
What really happened after that? What was your state of?
It was so difficult. My God, I mean, my life has not been easy, by the way. The first time when I came to do the film, it was so difficult. North and South cinema was totally apart. Before that, when I joined the Hindi film industry, it was so difficult because there was no concept of models becoming actors at that time.
Yeah.
and being successful and good actors. Yeah, there could be somebody who's there, but it was not, they were not. So that was, and then a girl alone. My entire journey has been, I have made my life, I'm a self-made person. And I'm not saying, I could say that with a lot of, there's no ego and there's no pride in there. Because I know how hard it has been and how I stuck in. As a woman, we talk of woman empowerment today. It's such a big thing. Our government is promoting women. It was nothing like this 30 years ago. Women had to sit back. Men were above, always. And if you wanted to be above and wanted to be next to men, be like them. Other women used to look at you like, what is wrong with her? And it was just being difficult. And I think that all along throughout.
That I think, that difficulty, I think everybody would
Yeah.
have to go through somewhere, sometime in their life.
Yeah, sure.
But taking a toll on your health and things like that, I think that's a very hard fight, I think.
Yeah.
What problems you had after the accident, what you had to go through?
I had, I mean, like everything was broken. My body was broken. My mind was broken. I had no, I had nothing. I'd come to zero. Zero. When you don't have your body and you don't have your mind, what do you have? That's when you have Atman. That's when I realized that I am. I am that Atman which we read about. I experienced it. So it was an amazingly powerful, transformative experience.
Was it like this even after, right away after the thing,
Right.
or
Yeah.
it
This
would have
was my
taken
awakening.
some time?
Yeah,
no?
yeah. This is.
But in the meantime, you will have to go through some trauma, depression. and
No,
all.
no, no. So this was already happening. There are so many different parts of your brain that are working together. You see that you're thinking this, you're thinking of your past, you're thinking tomorrow, you're thinking of your boyfriend, you're thinking of your girlfriend, you're thinking of your job. There's so many things that are going on in a person's mind, right? My mind had become very quiet, in fact. That's when I realized that there's only two things in my mind. One was this spiritual awakening, which was full of joy and full of compassion for other human beings. And then the other side, which said, how will you do it? Because you are bedridden.
You were bedridden.
I was bedridden for months.
You were not able to walk or
Nothing.
use your
I had to
hands.
be bathed like a child. I couldn't even like stand up and go to the bathroom for months.
Who helped you?
Of course, my family, and there's a nurse who used to sit by my side. But the thing is this, that's when I understood that I am not this body. You think, oh wow, this beautiful, this model's body and this. You start identifying with that.
So I think being a model, there's always a constant check on how you look,
Yeah.
especially how you present yourself. Not the body, the face. It really matters. And since you were an actress also, I think it was the primary thing. No. So I think after that there must be changes, lot of changes. How did you accept that?
It wasn't, for me, there was no difficulty in accepting anything because I had seen the reality. So everything else was secondary. But I also then, that made me realize how limited the normal human thinking is. Because it is completely based on looks. It's completely based on face. It's completely, it's almost like they can't see or don't want to see anything more than that. And that for me, that's why I started the foundation. I said, this is a challenge. I want to make people aware that they are so much more than just their body and their mind.
So what are the complications you still have to go through because of the accident? What was the thing which you can't do forever? Is there something like that?
No, nothing. Where do I start? I don't even know which is more important than the other. Everything was a problem. Everything was a problem. But again, why think of the problem? Think of the solution. The doctors called me a miracle to be alive today, and I am self-healed 100% naturally. they are like, they're positively can't believe it.
What did the doctor say after? Because it
No, they said they just said that
it's not happening.
they said she's going to die. That's what they said. When I left and came to the hospital, I had to be put on a wheelchair. I didn't know how to walk. I didn't even know, like a child, I didn't know how
You
to toddle.
forgot certain things. Is that true? We've read somewhere. Is that true or something like
What?
that? You lost part of your memory and all.
I lost my full memory. That's why I didn't know. That's why I had to be started again.
So the doctor said it's not.
Yeah, but I
nobody
think
can
that, it's such a privilege to have in one life to lead a second life, and that's what it is today. And I think that's what I want to bring to the cinema today. Not just that goodwill for people, for fans and people, no, but just that understanding that how a human being has limitless potential. And we all need to know that because we are going through such times of crisis all over the world. This is the time we need positivity. This is the time we need hope.
You only know what you're going through or what you had fought before. So when sometimes like the trolls are out there to just constantly judge us and ask questions. Oh, what happened to you? What happened to your body? Or what happened to your face? You had to go through those trolls.
Not really.
Okay.
Not really, because the thing is that the media went wild, and they kept writing whatever they had to, that she's this, she's gone this, this is what has happened to her. But I think that when people met me, there was more of a shock. They looked at me and they just didn't know what to say. And also I also realized that how much goodwill I had from people, because there were so many people who felt sad.
So there was a lot of rumors around
Rumors.
about the accident and you.
I don't know, but I
Okay.
think I have no idea. How would I know?
No.
Rumors, I'm not going to hear. Other people hear rumors.
Yeah.
But when I was in a gathering with there were people, I'm telling you, they were just they had no words. Nobody ever came and asked me anything.
So with foundation, like I think you might have changed a lot of people's life. What do you talk to them? What do you say them?
To
the
whom?
people you meet who don't have hope.
I
or-
didn't have language for many years. I didn't know how to speak.
Okay.
I had facial paralysis.
Okay.
So the tongue was locked. The tongue didn't move. It was paralyzed.
okay.
Can you imagine that? Tongue being paralyzed.
No.
Yeah, I couldn't speak. Even now my tongue doesn't move 100%.
Can you share some nostalgic memories from the song? Because Konjam Nilave is still has got the same vibe and energy to it.
Yes, yes. One of the things when you say Kuncham Nelava, one of the first things that comes to my mind is the cameraman, PC Siram. He said, the second day of shooting, he announced this. He said, "This is the song of the decade."
Yeah.
And by the way, I must tell you, I was amazed to see the dedication of work and the seriousness that there was in the industry, and especially with Mani sir around and everybody, which wasn't so much there in other places. So it was, for me, it was such a learning curve. It was such a learning experience as an actor, as a human being, and plus, you guys are so spiritual,
Yeah.
and I think that is the mainstay, which is what is taking you forward.
Super. You were relatively new to the industry also, and that was his first and last Tamil film.
First and last.
Yeah. So how was it when it comes to learning the language or getting your lines done?
Oh God, it was. It's not an easy language if you're a Hindi speaker. I'm a Hindi and an English speaker, and I had to so the night time was the time when my class used to happen. So there was a teacher who used to come after dinner. So the full day shooting, and we'd come home let's say around 10, after dinner and everything. I've come back to my room at 10. And then he would come around, 10 or 10:30. Class till 12 o'clock.
Oh.
And then the next morning again shooting at 5:30 or 6 because all my close-ups Mani had done in morning light. So, and plus we were traveling a lot.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the places were outside Chennai.
Yeah.
And so, so we had to get ready early at 3:34 in the morning, start the makeup, dress, So yeah, it was quite an experience now to coming to think of it.
Yeah.
It was,
I know it's too much to ask, but can you recall any dialogues, favorite dialogue of yours?
I think the thing that I remember always is the song
Okay.
Kuncham Nilava Kuncham Nirapa.
Okay.
What an amazing, it's such an amazing interpretation.
Yeah.
It's like the Devi, the interpretation, how you describe a Devi, her hair, her walk, it was like that for my character of Chandralekha. Yeah, so it was amazing.
Why didn't you take up any other Tamil films after Thirida Thirida? What happened after Thirida Thirida?
So there were offers immediately, but I was actually on my way out of the complete acting industry only at that time. So, and also I hadn't gone there thinking, oh, now I'm coming to the south. For me, there was no differentiation between south or north or anything. For me, it was good cinema. It could be anywhere in the world. And Mani Ratnam he was not South Indian, he was not Indian, he was not even Indian. He was not even, he was somewhere else as far as his entire thinking, his perception, and the way he had planned and the things he could see, and his entire, catastrophe. It was somewhere else. Yeah. So it was not that, and it wasn't like I was joining the film industry. I'm joining the Tamil film industry. It wasn't that. Or even the south. So offers started to come, but I had so many already in
Hindi.
I was so busy in Bollywood.
Yeah.
Which was not called Bollywood then. It was Hindi film industry. So it was, and within a year and a half, and then I did a film for Cannes the next year, and I was out. 94, I stopped signing. I had already finished the films I was signing. I was on my way out.
Okay.
It was a decision I had made, yeah.
Conscious decision.
It was a conscious decision.
Okay.
Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology, admissions open.
பாரம்பரியமான சுவையான புது அறிமுகம் KTV True Value Bronatile.
டார்லிங் ஏசி திருவிழா இந்தியாவிலேயே மிக குறைந்த மாத தவணையில் ஏசி.
ஹாய் எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். நான் தான் மணிமேகலை பேசுறேன். கலாட்டா பிங்க் தமிழ்நாடு #1 விமன் சேனல் வர ஏப்ரல் 6 அன்னைக்கு ஒரு சூப்பரான ரொம்ப புதுமையான ஒரு ஈவெண்ட் பண்ண போறாங்க. கலைவாணர் அரங்கம்ல கலாட்டா பிங்க் கோல்டன் குயின் அவார்ட்ஸ் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு சூப்பரான அவார்ட் ஃபங்க்ஷன் நடக்க போகுது. பெண்களால் பெண்களை கொண்டாடும் ஒரு நிகழ்வு அப்படின்னு வந்து சொல்லலாம். ஸோ இது வந்து ரொம்ப சூப்பரான ஒரு விஷயம் என்ன அப்படின்னு வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, டிஜேல இருந்து, பவுன்சர்ல இருந்து, டிஓபில இருந்து, கோஆர்டினேட் பண்றவங்கல இருந்து எல்லாமே விமனே எடுத்து முன்னாடி இருந்து இது வந்து செய்ய போறாங்க. ரொம்ப எக்ஸைட்டடா இருக்கு. லைக் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் எவர் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு விஷயம் நடக்குது அப்படிங்கும்போது, அண்ட் அதுல நானும் கலந்துக்கிறேன் அப்படிங்கிறது எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு. ஸோ கண்டிப்பா ஏப்ரல் 6 கலைவாணர் அரங்கம் கண்டிப்பா எல்லாரும் வந்துருங்க. நானும் அங்க வரேன். எல்லாரும் மீட் பண்ணலாம்.